You wake up before sunrise, but the world outside is already making noise. Not birds, not footsteps, just rain. It hits the leaves above you, runs down the rock wall behind you, drips onto your hair, and soaks the animal skin beneath your body. The fire from last night is no longer a fire. It is just a dark circle of wet ash. You look outside. The ground has turned into mud. The trail you used yesterday has disappeared, and the river is louder than before. The hunters are still sitting, the children are shivering, and an older woman near the back of the shelter is coughing. And then you realize something terrifying. This is not the first day of rain. It is not even the third. The sky has been falling for a week. Today, for you, rain is mostly an inconvenience. You check your weather app, you grab an umbrella, and you complain about traffic. If it rains all week, you stay inside, order food, turn on a light, dry your clothes, and wait for the sun. But for ancient humans, rain was not background noise. Rain could erase tracks, spoil dry wood, flood low camps, make hunting harder, make children cold, turn a shallow river into a wall, and turn a safe cave into a crowded, smoky, tense room. A modern rain changes your schedule. But an ancient rain could change whether your group survived the week. So, what did ancient humans actually do when it rained for days? Did they hide in caves and do nothing? Did they keep hunting through the storm? Did they move camp? Or did they use the time to repair tools, tell stories, prepare food, and strengthen social bonds? The mystery is not just how they stayed dry. The deeper question is, how did humans turn a week of forced stillness into survival? A week of rain created several real survival problems. First, fire could die. Without dry fuel, fire became harder to start and harder to maintain. No fire meant less warmth, less cooking, less protection, and fewer ways to dry materials. Second, food could become uncertain. Hunting depended on visibility, movement, tracks, and timing. Heavy rain could erase signs of animals, flood paths, and make long-distance travel risky. Third, the group could become unstable. When people are trapped together, hungry, cold, and wet, tension rises. The problem becomes social as much as physical. Who gets the dry spot? Who watches the fire? Who eats first? And who goes out? Archaeologists often find prehistoric remains in caves and rock shelters, including hearths, tools, animal bones, and occupation layers. This shows that ancient humans did not always need to build full houses to survive bad weather. Sometimes the landscape itself provided the first architecture. Rainy weeks may have pushed people toward cliffs, overhangs, caves, and known dry places. Not randomly, but as part of a mental map of survival. But not every group just hid under a cliff. At Mezheritch in Ukraine, researchers have studied Ice Age mammoth bone dwellings, with mammoth skulls and long bones likely used as structural elements, dating to roughly 18,000 years ago. Other materials, such as hides, wood, or bark, may have formed parts of the covering. They were not simply cave people. In some environments, humans engineered shelters from available materials. A week of rain was easier to survive if your group already understood structure, weight, covering, insulation, wind direction, drainage, and shared indoor space. And at the center of those shelters was always the fire. At Fincha Habera in Ethiopia, a high-altitude Middle Stone Age rock shelter, researchers reported hearths, tools, animal remains, and repeated occupation in a challenging environment. Fire was not just a campfire. It was a technology that required planning, dry fuel, protected embers, airflow, smoke control, and shared responsibility. During long rain, one of the most important jobs may have been keeping embers alive, not dramatically starting fire from scratch every day. When we look at ethnographic hunter-gatherer and forager groups, like the Hadza or the Pume, we see seasonal movement and flexible camp life. The Hadza move camps for multiple reasons and can build shelters quickly. The Pume use lighter dry season structures and more robust palm-thatched structures during wet seasons. Ancient humans probably did not have one universal rain plan. Their response depended on season, terrain, food, group size, and local knowledge. And when travel and hunting became difficult, the group still had work to do. Inside shelters, archaeologists often find toolmaking, debris, processed bones, and other traces of domestic activity, such as flint knapping, animal skin processing, and small animal butchering inside or around dwellings. A rainy week was not empty time. It was maintenance time, the hidden labor that made the next hunt possible. The obvious answer is, ancient humans waited for the rain to stop. But that is only half true. For a modern person, waiting means doing nothing. But for a hunter-gatherer group, waiting could be work. Waiting meant protecting the fire, repairing tools, drying skins, watching the river, listening for animals, teaching children, retelling routes, remembering which valley floods first, and deciding who is strong enough to go out and who must stay. The twist is that rain did not only stop human activity, rain reorganized it. The deeper mechanism is adaptation through flexibility. Ancient humans survived because they were not locked into one behavior. They could switch modes. Mode 1, movement mode. When the weather allowed it, people moved toward food, water, stone, wood, and safer terrain. Mode 2, shelter mode. When rain made movement dangerous, the camp became the center of life, and energy shifted inward to fire, repair, food sharing, childcare, and social regulation. Mode 3, memory mode. Rain rewards people who remember landscapes, like where the dry cave is, which trees give better cover, which stream floods, which slope becomes slippery, and which plants appear after rain. And Mode 4, cooperation mode. Long rain punishes isolated individuals, and a wet week becomes easier when people divide tasks, such as one protecting fire, one gathering fuel, one repairing tools, and one watching children. The science behind this is simple. Humans are not the strongest animals, the fastest animals, or the most weatherproof animals. But humans are planning animals, social animals, and memory animals. Rain made those abilities visible. A week of rain reveals something important about humans. Civilization did not begin only when people built cities. It began in smaller moments. When someone saved an ember, when someone remembered a dry overhang, when someone repaired a spear before the next clear morning, when someone gave the driest spot to a child, and when stories kept the group calm because the sky would not. Rain forced humans to become more than hunters. It forced them to become caretakers, planners, builders, teachers, and storytellers. And maybe that is why shelters matter so much in human history. A shelter is not just a place where bodies stay dry. It is a place where knowledge survives bad weather. Today, when it rains you cancel plans, you stay in bed longer, you cook more, you scroll more, you talk to the people near you, and you wait for the sky to open. That feeling is ancient. The difference is that now your shelter is made of concrete, glass, wiring, plumbing, and delivery apps. But the emotional pattern is older. When the outside world becomes hostile, humans turn inward. We gather around warmth. We repair what we can. We tell stories. We wait together. Long before we built houses to keep out the rain, rain taught us why we needed each other inside them.